Warning, this video may contain spoilers for the TV show or movie that we discuss in this video. If you have not yet watched the TV show or movie that this video is about, please come back to the video at a later time after you have watched the content that was discussed. You have been warned.
Rising with each beat of the music is bringing. We're flames in the fire that keeps burning. We're inviting the night in.
Tactical nuke incoming!
How's it going, everybody? This is Rob Novakast back with another review type video, and okay, I'm gonna be perfectly honest. Looking at this one, I kind of was putting it off, like, to an extent. Like, I saw the trailers and I wasn't kind of motivated to, go watch it. And it was a Netflix original, so I was also doubly not motivated, because sometimes Netflix movies suck. But at the same time, it is animated by the same people it's produced by Sony, as well as animated by some of the same people that did Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. So I figured, what the fuck, might as well check it out. And I'm gonna be honest, I kinda like it. Like, no joke, I actually kind of like this movie. Now, at first, I'm going to just say, like, when it comes down to the whole setup of this, or actually, no, before we get into that, just a quick, because I do this usually, it's directed by Michael Randa and Jeff Rowe. And by the way, this is the Mitchells versus the Machines, in case I forgot to mention that. It's the Mitchells versus the Machines. It's written by Michael Randall and Jeff Rowe, starring actors like Abby Jacobson, Danny McBride, Maya Rudolph, Michael Rianda, Eric Andre, and many more. But oh my gosh, yeah, this was I'm gonna say it. It's a wholesome film, and for those who have not seen this movie yet, or at least don't know the premise of it, you have a dysfunctional family that go on a road trip to take the oldest daughter to college, and in the middle of their road trip comes the robot apocalypse. Yeah, that's the basic setup of it. And it kind of starts off, I mean, the movie itself, like, to set us up, starts us off, like, in the middle of when everything's happening. So, yeah, it's interesting, to say the least. The movie itself, I mean, when it comes down to, like, I mean, it's the basic, family coming together. They're dysfunctional. Either one of the kids is at odds with, one of the parents. And sure enough, they all come together and succeed and save the day. Yay. It's the typical family story, but honestly, it was actually done well with this, especially when, even though, like, to an extent, like, on face value, it seems like the characters have, like, their own differences and have their own quirks. They all, I guess, come together when it comes down to their strengths and weaknesses, and I thought that was really good. Or at least done well when it comes to this film. As well as, like, learning off of each other to a degree. Mostly when it comes down to the movie, or at least the characters themselves. The teenage daughter character, which was Katie, and the father character, which was Rick, which, if I remember correctly, Danny McBride, has done a lot of comedy stuff like Pineapple Express, Vice Principals, Up in the Air. Actually, I don't think that was comedy. But Your Highness, the variety of different comedy stuff. Actually, he was an Alien too. Now that I think about it, but anyhow. So Danny McBride did a good job playing Rick. I thought he was great, and again, it was to be perfectly honest, for a second I thought it was Seth Rogen that was voicing him, like no joke. But I kind of feel like when it comes to Danny McBride as well as Seth Rogen, like some of their voice work is almost similar to a degree. Abby Jacobson, who voiced Katie Mitchell and Dog Cop, apparently. I think this might be one of their first films, at least as far as I can see on IMDb. We have a variety of other actors who have done a lot of great stuff. Maya Rudolph, who plays Linda, was a lot of fun. Looking at some of their work, fortunately can't see much on that end either. But all in all, the characters themselves are really, really interesting. I like the villain, that being PAL, or like the super or smartphone, which I thought was funny in that regard, especially with like the setup of as to why the smartphone decides to become the villain. It's one pretty fucked up, but at the same time, it's like you can kind of see their resentment as to why they're doing some of the things they're doing. Now, visuals. I'm just gonna say when it comes down to like the fights, I mean, especially since this is an animated film, how it's animated, the movements are close. I mean, I will say it's very similar to what we've seen for Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. In fact, there's a particular, it's more so, or at least when it comes to movement or animation, it's more so with a particular robot that pops up like near the very end of the film with how it's moved or animated. I gotta say, it's awesome. And one thing that I kind of like, at first I feel like I was gonna groan at when it comes down to stuff that popped up was there was a lot of extra like I want to say like filters or like extra stuff in the background where you had like crudely drawn like animations or pop-ups or whatever. And honestly, at first I kind of figured it was going to be like annoying, but when it comes down to it, especially with this particular movie, the pop-ups periodically throughout the film kind of grew on me, and it kind of added to the charm of like the whole film. And all in all, it was really nice. The animation done for this film is really good. I like each character's character design, or at least how each character is differently proportioned in that regard. It really, really done well. The designs for the robots I really love, especially I think it was like, oh gosh, what was their names? The robots that were named DeborahBot 5000 or Eric. I thought those were really funny. As well as the I guess the other robots that pop up later on. Those ones were really, really freaking cool and menacing. Actually, now that I think about it, it kind of reminded me of I don't know if I want to claim like as like Promethean Knights from Halo, or more so it kind of the robots near the end kind of remind me of I hate to use this as a reference, but the Transformers from Age of Extinction, where they break apart into like metal dust or something and then reform. I thought that was kind of cool. Music was interesting. There's a couple good hits. There's a remix of I think it was Numa Numa, which I you know what I will say I kind of like to an extent, especially in the usage of it. So music itself is okay. I think that wasn't my main focus on this one. So, all in all, when it comes down to this particular film, it was a blast. I kind of enjoyed it. has a great charm, animated really well. The characters themselves, although different from each other, build from their build on their strengths and weaknesses and work together. Or at least when it comes down to the story, and in of itself, it was amazing. I actually kind of enjoyed it. So with that, I think, because I know this on IMDb, it gave this movie a 7 out of 10. Honestly, I enjoyed it. I think this is one of the best animated films I've seen recently. One of them. It's odd, but I think that's the point, especially with, we follow a very odd family that try to take advantage, or at least not take advantage, but go against great odds that, to an extent, shun them for how odd they are. So I like it. I will say that this is an okay, not just okay. It was a good movie. So with that, I think I'm gonna go ahead and give this movie my highest rating, a 10 out of 10. I enjoyed it, and above all, it was amazing. It really was. So with that, 10 out of 10. I love it. With that, I think I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Truly appreciate it. If you guys can, please leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. If you guys want to follow us on social media, links are in the description down below, as well as check out our daily content and the weekly podcast. With that being said, this is Rob Novakast signing off. Have a good one, and take care. Peace.